Hi, and welcome to the Koonze Podcast. My name is Lucia Koonze, and today's episode, we'll be talking about the 49ers and the Falcons. We won't be talking about the Raiders because the Raiders had it bypass, a week. So they had a little break. But or not, it's not a bypass, it's a bye week. So yeah, we were talking about the 49ers and the Falcons. What happened to the 49ers in the game? I mean, they really had me a bit of it frustrated because the touchdowns made by the Falcons was just like here, I'll leave you the open gap and you can just score. I mean, you can score. We can go ahead and do it. The defense wasn't really, I don't know what happened, but something happened in there. We'll also go over the whole week 6 or what happened with the teams in the NFL, and then we'll go to the MLB. Astros and Mariners. What an insane game. All the way to 18 innings. It's just like, I mean, if I were, in the game, that definitely would be just an amazing experience because it's kind of like you having 2 games in one. And I mean, it sucks for the Mariners, but it just, but they still did a phenomenal game. They tried their hardest to stay in the series, but sadly that didn't happen. But it was an insane game, and they made history because that was never made in the MLB playoffs. That never had happened, going to the 18 inning with a 0-0. That's just amazing how the teams were. But we'll talk more about them, and also going over the playoffs. We'll also talk about NHL. The San Jose Earthquakes. San Jose Earthquakes. That's MLS. No, NHL. San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks, not the Earthquakes. We're gonna leave the Earthquakes a little bit alone. The Sharks. What happens against the Blackhawks? Another game loss, and I mean the Sharks have. I know they have potential. They do have great players to win, but I don't know, they're kind of like the Raiders. They can't finish the game. They start good, they play good, and then the ending not done. And it's just a little bit mind-blowing in a way. We also have a little bit of the recap of the of what's going on with also the college football, with the Big Ten and Pac-12. And why don't we just start with the 49ers and the Falcons, right? So the 49ers and the Falcons, like I was saying earlier, I'm just mind blown the fact that they allowed the Falcons do touchdowns, the first 2 touchdowns. Don't know what happened with the defense. And I can't blame all of it on the defense. I mean, it's pretty much the whole team, but it was like a really frustrating moment because you watching the game and going over it, you can see the coach frustrated, totally understandable, and then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the rest, like, for example, Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, he did more yards than what's his name? Mariota, passing yards. And it's just, it is a little bit frustrating because you can't really understand just what happened. The fact that the defense just left those gaps to do touchdowns. That's just something that I still don't process. But the 49ers did show that whenever they're ready to do touchdowns, they're there. And they did it twice, back to back, to tie the game. But with that said, let's go to the game. In the first quarter, under 9 minutes, Purdy with the 2-yard pass from Mariota, and then Coop with the kick brought the Falcons 7-0. And then under 2 minutes, Hawking with the fumble recovery all the way to the end zone, and then Coop with the kick 14-0. The fact that you had a fumble recovery and then went all the way to the end zone, that's a lot, That's a lot about what happened during those 2 touchdowns with the team. And then in the second quarter, under 12 minutes, Brandon with the 12-yard pass from Jimmy Garoppolo and then goal with the kick brought the team 14-7, still the Falcons leading the game. And then under 8 minutes, nearly 7, it was a 7-7. Brandon again with the 14-yard pass by Jimmy Garoppolo and then goal with the kick brought the team with the tie 14-14 before going to halftime. But within seconds before going to halftime, Mariota with a 3-yard run and then Coop with the kick brought the Falcons 21-14. I'm just like, I was kind of done in a way watching the game, but I was like, I think the 49ers can come back. But yeah, that didn't happen. In the third quarter, and Pitt with the 7-yard pass from Mariota and then Coop with the kick brought the Falcons 28-14. Fourth quarter, we don't even speak about because both teams were just like not even gonna bother do anything else. But no, in overall, I mean, the 49ers have proved that they're a great team. They've proven it numerous times. The fact, we go again with Jimmy Garoppolo's situation, he's still performing. The fact that he did more passing yards than actually Mariota, and they're the ones who won the game. That's it's a lot about Jimmy Garoppolo's passing, and that he's there to show himself. But with that said, let's go to the games. The Commanders beat the Bears 12-7. Again, the 49ers lost to the Falcons 28-14. The Patriots beat the Browns 38-15. The Jets beat the Packers. It was a good game. Not like the game of the week, but it was a good game. The Jets beat the Packers 27-10. The Colts beat the Jaguars 34-27. That was a really good game, actually. The Vikings beat the Dolphins 24-16. It was an all right game. But I think overall, the Vikings have been proven to be a good team this season. So that's something, a lot of teams should be kind of looking out. Bengals beat the Saints 30-26. The Ravens lost to the Giants 24-20. The Buccaneers, it's a little surprising what the Buccaneers are going through this season. Well, at least I'm not used to seeing them like a win lose type of thing. But I mean, they lost against the Steelers 20-18. The Panthers lost to the Rams 24-10. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 19-9. The Bills beat the Chiefs 24-20. I was a bit of a shock in there, knowing that the Chiefs have been coming, with wins. But I mean, the Bills show themselves better than the Chiefs. The Cowboys lost to the Eagles 26-17. And the Chargers beat the Broncos 19-16. That was a close game. It was a good game overall. It was just, there was early play where one of the Chargers players pulled bounds and hit him before getting tackled. I totally missed who he was, but yeah, it was just funny to watch. You guys should watch it on the replay. With that said, let's go to the MLB. The Astros and the Mariners 18 inning game was phenomenal. I feel terrible for the Mariners because they lost 3-0 in the series and lost the game. The 18 inning game, 1-0 from a home run by Peña, but it was just, I mean, it was a good game. Going all the way to the 18 inning with the 0-0, it was history made, because that has never happened in the MLB playoffs. Two teams going 0-0 all the way to the 18 inning. And I think it looked like they were probably going to the 19 innings that Peña decided to, no, you know what? I'm just going to go and do a home run because we are done. I played 2 games in one tonight and we are done. We need to move forward. But the Mariners, they looked like they could have taken the game too. And it was there. I think it was in the 17th inning where they were like so close, but yeah. So the Astros go to the next round. Braves and Phillies. The Braves lost to the Phillies 8-3 in the 4th game, and the Phillies win the series 3-1. The Yankees and the Guardians. That's just been, and I kind of knew it, but I felt like the Yankees could have just swapped that series, and they're just not doing it. And I don't know why, the Guardians are leading the series. Well, they were leading the series 2-1, but now the Yankees, they won. The Yankees won the game yesterday 4-2, so now they're tied 2-2, and now we have to go to game 5, but it was postponed because of the rain. I mean, at least that's what it says, and it's gonna be played on Tuesday, October 18. But with them, we go to Dodgers, Padres. This is what the Padres did to me. I thought Dodgers had it all. No. Padres said, to see us wrong in here. We're taking series. And they proved me wrong. They took the series. 3-1. Padres won their 4th game 5-3. It was a close game, but still, they were like, Lucia said the Dodgers are taking it. Not in our book, not in that Padre book. So they took the series, and I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm not a Padres fan. But I being in California, I was just like, whatever team kind of goes. I mean, I'm more of a Giants fan, so you can kind of tell. But I mean, overall, Dodgers and Padres have history teams, and I just thought that Dodgers would have taken it, but I'm kind of glad the Padres proved me wrong. This is for me to learn in the future that do not judge a book by its cover. So I'm happy. I'm happy for the Padres. So with that said, let's go to the NHL, right? Another Bay Area team lost. The Sharks lost to the Blackhawks 5-2. I mean, it's not unusual for the Sharks to lose at this point. But I mean, if you really look at the stats and you look at the at the chart, the field, the Sharks had, I feel like the Sharks had more opportunities of shooting and scoring than the Blackhawks. My voice is leaving, I'm sorry. But the Blackhawks. It's just looking at the chart right now, like I'm literally looking at it right now. I'm trying to think of where did they went wrong. Because in the first period, they scored two goals. And I don't know. I don't know where they could have gone wrong. But at the end of the day, the Sharks tend to be that kind of a team where they're like lose, win, or lose, and then a win, or they win, and then they lose. So it's like, it's not a consecutive team where they actually, we know as, NHL fans that the Sharks would consistently win 6 games and then lose 1, or no, we know them by, they lost this game, but they're going to win the next 2, or they won this game, but they're going to lose the next 3. By all means. And these are not the earthquakes. These are the Sharks. Earlier, I just messed up. Earlier, I said it was a San Jose earthquakes, but it's the Sharks. So with that, let's go to let's see. Let's go to the Pac-12. Let's go to Pac-12. Not Pac-12, Big Ten. College football. On college football, we are going to talk about the game where the Minnesota Golden Gophers lost to the Illinois. Lost to Illinois. The Gophers were a 4-0, and then they lost to, I think I'm gonna totally messed up who they lost to, but I think it was Penn State. Not Penn State. I said that last week. No, it's Purdue. They lost to Purdue. I keep saying Penn State. Penn State, can you please just like leave me alone? Leave me alone. Shh. No, they lost to Purdue 20-10. And this game they lost 26-14. And it seemed in the game that Morgan probably had like some kind of an injury, but I guess he might be back. Ibrahim played. Ibrahim's back, but they still ended up losing. I don't know. I mean, it's something that the Minnesota teams, but Minnesota, the Gophers tend to do, where they're like, they play games at the beginning where they know for a fact that they're gonna win, and then when it comes to teams that they have to play and they have to win, they just don't push to do it, and I mean, I'm not sure why it happens. It just happens. But let's go to the recaps of the games for the college football. I think I'm gonna say it wrong. Vanderbilt played against Georgia. The Bulldogs just they did this. That's my sweeping sound effect. But they just ripped them away 55-0. The Bulldogs are 7-0. I'm just like, I said it before. The Bulldogs are a little scary to play against. It's like, oh, the Blaine Georgia. I'm like, you might want to like take a little step back and think, process, come down, because once the game ends, I'm pretty sure you're going to be just like mind blown. Tennessee beat Alabama 52-49. Clemson beat Florida State 34-28. Penn State. This is Penn State. This is Penn State against Michigan, not Minnesota. Michigan. 41-17. Utah beat USC 43-42. Was a close game, and it was a good game too. So congratulations to both teams on that. Oklahoma lost to TCU 43-40. Auburn lost against Ole Miss 48-34. Syracuse, probably said it wrong. Lost to beat NC State 24-9. Mississippi State lost to Kentucky 27-17. Oklahoma beat Kansas 52-42. Texas beat Iowa State 24-21. Minnesota lost to Illinois 14-26, or 26-14, whatever you want to call it. James lost to Georgia 45-38. Georgia, that's Georgia Southern State. So with that said, that is another episode of the Koonze Podcast. I am Lucia Koonze, and I was and will continue being your host. Next week we'll have again NFL, college football, what happens on the MLB playoffs. Hopefully we go to another 18 inning game. We will also have NHL. We will try to find more information about 2022 Qatar for FIFA football, FIFA soccer, where everybody else knows it. We'll start talking about, Qatar, because we're already towards the end of October, almost beginning of November. I mean, with October, not, but we are near Qatar 2022. So we have to start talking about the groupings. So next episodes we'll be focusing in each group throughout the episodes, and then kind of give our predictions in a way. We might have a guest next week, but there's still process about it. But overall, I'll be seeing you next week. Again, my name is Lucia Koonze. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.